sport is important. And I think now I hit that age where I realize, wait a second, I should do it not for the shape, but for my health. In a life where we're so consumed by our cell phones and content, and sports for me bring me back to the present moment. You know, they bring me back to, you know, if I'm on a football field, I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm just thinking about football. I'm just playing football. I love martial arts. Okay, this is, by the way, this is the, if I had to work out, this is what I would do. I cannot do machines and stuff. I need to be with other people, by the way. And, you know, martial arts is always against someone else. You cannot do it by yourself. I think for us in Serbia, I mean, Olga just sent me a message yesterday, like literally said we should film every movie here. I actually have met a football player once, a very famous one. And you know what, in LA at a party, and I came up to him and said, so what do you do? Oh. And people said, Olga.
We have some gifts prepared for you from our GM of Arena Sport Television. And I can only say it's personalized. To open it, this is for Olga.
Okay.
Wow. I want to see your reaction. This is for Oliver.
Is this about basketball?
Yes.
There's a basketball player in the back.
Okay, I'm gonna have to start.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Here you are.
Crvena zvezda.
Yes.
I can. You see, I can read Cyrillic.
Amazing.
Wow.
And you have your
name.
My
goodness.
I love it. By the way, number 10 is the number I wear as well. So it's the only number I wear. It's number 10.
That's great. You love it?
Michael Owen was one of my favorite players. Number 10. This is amazing.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. This is a small memory from our television, from Red Star, and today's
that's
interview.
very kind. Thank you.
That's from Arena.
Oh, I love notebooks. It's my favorite thing.
I'm so glad you like it. Do you watch football, basketball games? Sometimes.
Basketball, I don't, but you know who was texting me the other day to make sure, trying to set me up with anything I needed was I'm going to mess up his last name and he's going to hate me, Marco Javic. Yes, Marco was texting me being like, if you need anything in Belgrade, let me know. I've known Marco for a while, but I didn't realize he was from
Belgrade. Yes, from Serbia actually.
So he was a big player, I guess, at some point.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
I heard that you love tennis. It's like you watch tennis or you play it from time to time.
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which tennis player you love? You heard from Novak Djokovic, I guess?
I was just about to say, I love Djokovic, you know? Yes. I love him because of his passion and, you know, he's, I think I like any sports player, actor, business person, whatever they do in life, when you see their passion for it, you can't help but love them, you know? It's because it's real. It's what they're doing it because they love it, they live and breathe it. And I think, you know, Novak is that's him, you know, you see it. And so you kind of root for people because they're rooting for themselves too, you know?
Novak is the greatest player in the world, and it's ours. You watched any of his games, matches?
Yes, I watched, That I watch. I like tennis.
And you said that you love ballet, and I heard that you were practicing ballet for 12 years. Is that true? And you?
Yeah, but I think you probably practiced it for longer than me.
Probably because it took me longer to get good at it.
No. And when did you stop? What age?
16.
Yeah, I stopped. I was 13.
Yeah.
And you're watching it now? Is there any other
ballet anytime I'll watch, you know.
And gymnastics, you said?
Yeah, gymnastics is nice too, because I did a little bit of gymnastics when I was a kid. I tried a bit of everything, you know, but...
Is there any other sport that we need to mention and that you like or
well, for me, it's ballet, gymnastics, and ice skating. It's just anything graceful and... I guess, I'm more into that. But you mentioned, what did you just say? I love badminton.
I know, because I saw that somewhere.
But why everybody laughs?
I was preparing, you know.
When I say badminton, everybody goes, oh, that's very funny. I am good at badminton. We found, you know, I don't play anything, but badminton I'll play. Let's go.
I love it because in England, like, we didn't get to play tennis a lot where I grew up because the courts were never dry, like everything's wet. So we'd always play badminton because it was inside. So.
Andy Murray?
That one, anytime.
What about him, Andy Murray?
Andy Murray? He's great. He's good. He's great. Andy Murray's great.
I remember him now. I have tons of questions for you, but we don't have much time because I know you have a lot of obligations in front of you, and I need to ask you about your biggest passion, and that's acting. So I'll start with a lady again. You're from the young age you were spotted based on your beauty and your charisma, and from teenage age you become photo model. And back then, you were part of the glory of Paris, and after that, of whole world.
That was a nice period. Those were the 90s, and I now think about those years with nostalgia. You know, they were good years. I mean, I arrived in Paris. I was excited. I was, hungry for, to discover life. I mean, I was 16. You know, I was a teenager. Ready to learn, and I learned French. I learned, how to communicate with people. I was from a small town, so I was not very communicative back then.
How was it for a Ukrainian girl in Paris?
How is it? It's like the dream come true. I mean, my mother, the modeling agency bought me a ticket and paid for the visa because we could have never afforded. So I remember this is the phrase my mom said. She said. To forget modeling. She said, it might not work. But she said, at least you would have had a paid trip to Paris, which I could never give you. She said, I could never give you that present in life. She said, go to museums, go to sightseeing, use the most of it. Because if you come back, you'll never be able to go back there. And guess what? I never came back. It was an opportunity. My mom said, you're going to the most beautiful city in the world. And I did. I was museum. I came with my little book, sightseeing. I had my plan, Eiffel Tower. The Musée d'Orsay, Louvre. I mean, you name it. Arc de Triomphe, all of that. I was such a tourist first, and then I worked.
Did you know at that time that you were going to be an actress?
At that time, no. Because first I needed to learn French. And of course, first you need to even understand, meet people, and for me it was too far away. This whole thing. Once I spoke French, I did start thinking about it. Although I learned French quite fast, and I was on the photo shoots. A lot of people started telling me that I should be an actress and not a model. So it was something that recurrent that I would hear. And I thought, look, maybe they have a point, because I wanted to express myself, but on photos, you don't always have the opportunity. They rather want you to stay quite still. And I was expressing too many emotions. Very often the note was, no, don't do that. No, stay still. No, calm down. No, stop making, no, I was getting those notes. And I thought, wait a second, this is too static for me. I'm too much of an expressive person. And so I started, just for fun, I started doing classes. So that wasn't to even work. I just wanted, for me, I needed to go and let it out somewhere. So I was doing acting classes. And then slowly, and they said, look, why don't you do it professionally? Why don't you try? So I tried, and that's it.
Do you remember your first role?
Yeah. So it depends if we're talking. So my first, I did a few appearances, but they were not really significant. But the first role was a French indie film called The Ring Finger, and it was based on a Japanese novel. And I played the lead. So yeah, it was still one of my favorite movies up to now. It's a nice, very artistic movie.
We mentioned Bond, but more with a connection with sport. However, when you look back on that role, how do you see that achievement and everything that role brought for you?
Well, it brought the notoriety, I guess. It's because I was acting before that, but before that I did mostly French films and films in France. And it's true, with Bond, it became international. It's after Bond that American agents came to look for me and asked to represent me. I didn't have to go and ask them to represent it. They came. So things became easier, Suddenly you just, you want it and it's nice, So it's true, it offers a big overture into the cinema world.
Now you have many roles behind you, beside your unconditional beauty and talent. When you sum up everything, how do you see your career so far?
Eclectic. Eclectic and unusual, because I don't think, I always didn't want to be stuck in one, you know, in one genre or do the same thing, that I consciously picked very different projects, and if certain projects weren't coming to me, I would just kind of like drive it that way. Like I would, you know, tell my agents, look, I want to do a comedy, or I want to do, so I wanted to do a bit of everything, you know. I didn't, because in the beginning, of course, after Bond, so I started with art house film in France, but only French people saw that. And the whole world saw me as an action hero, because the whole world saw, you know, some people think my first movie is James Bond, which is not. So suddenly I was like this action hero, and I didn't want to do just that. I mean, it's fun, it's great, don't get me wrong, but I wanted to do drama, I wanted to do thrillers, I wanted to do comedies, I wanted to do horror, I wanted to try everything. And you know what, today I can say I did try all of them.
And you're satisfied with everything, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I want to keep going, and you know, and I worked with such different directors, like such very, very action-oriented directors, and like a totally art house people like Terrence Malick. Like there's a big, yeah, it's very eclectic, and it was conscious. That's what I wanted.
I'm gonna talk with Oliver, but first I have a question for both of you. Can you describe us living or working in Hollywood?
I don't live in Hollywood.
She doesn't live there.
I know, but
yeah,
I live in working.
Working, I mean, you know, I think it, like any business, like anything in life, it has its ups, it has its downs. You know, you ride the roller coaster and you find your people, and you know, gravitate towards those same people again. Like, you know, once again, you find your crew that you like, you work with your crew. We find our people we like, we work with our people. I think it has tough days, it has great days. It's an emotional roller coaster, you know.
You have such an inspiring story, but first of all, moving from England to America, it's pretty crazy, right? That story.
It wasn't, yeah, it was a long time ago
us?
now. Honestly, it was, I mean, over 20 years ago, and I remember landing in LA, there wasn't many English people there, you know, which was a good thing, because I would be noticed. I'd go into Starbucks and they'd be like, oh my God. Now it's full of English people. It's not special anymore. But at the time, it was a big jump. I remember, you know, I was 20 years old. I said bye to my parents at the airport in Heathrow, you know. I think that was the first time I saw my dad cry, you know, was saying bye to my parents. But, you know, like Olga's story, I mean, for me, it was an opportunity. It was the same thing. It was like, I'm going to America. When will that happen? And you take those risks and those moments in life where you take that action, and you never know where it's going to lead, you know. But it's taking the action that creates that effect to go on to something different, you know? So for me, yeah, I mean, at the time, I was scared, you know? It was excitement and fear. There was two emotions at the same time.
And look at you now.
Yeah, look at me now, but it's still life, you know? There's still good days, there's still bad days, there's still, it's, you know, it can always look different on the outside, but we still, I think that's the best way to describe Hollywood, is it looks great from the outside, but it's the same on the inside as everything else, you know?
How did you find your passion for acting?
I'm the youngest of 4 boys, so I think my mum wanted a girl, and I immediately was put into ballet school and theatre school at 4 years old. So I've done it since I was a kid, and it's helped me so much. Like, I think acting, for me, I've realized how much in life it's helped me. Like, even just the acting part, I think we're all actors. You know, we all put on different faces. You have to show up in a business meeting, or you have to show up in this, and something, you put on a persona, you know. I think for me, acting has been part of my life. I try and now be who I am and comfortable in myself and be the authentic person that I am. But when I look back, you know, when I was at school, I was trying to act tough, you know. I was trying to act popular. You're always kind of acting. Yeah, to some extent, you know, life is acting.
What's your biggest acting achievement?
I don't know. I haven't got there yet. You know, okay. I'm still on my way.
Okay, but beside acting, I want to know everything about your business. You're not only actor.
Yeah, I'm not only an actor. I think for me, like, it's, I guess everyone, you have your own journey. And I think, you know, I've had many jobs. I've worked in a bar. I've had many jobs, and business started to just come into my life. And I had some amazing people around me that I started to learn from. And so I started to, I guess, use my creative mind the same as I would in acting or in Hollywood in a business way. So for me, it's the same thing. Like finding a product is the same as finding a script. And then you have to tell the story of the product, the same as you tell the story of the script, and who you're going to tell the story with, and how you're going to tell the story, and how you're going to create something different and new and exciting. It's all, for me, it's a lot of similarities, and I just put that into the business world. And I try and surround myself with people that know what I don't. And I think for me, my biggest success, I know in business, is because I know what I know and I know what I don't know. And it's like, I always use a football analogy to bring it back to football. I'm a striker. I love being a striker. I don't want to play in goal. I don't want to be a defender. And I don't want to be a midfielder. Sometimes I have to play in midfield because it overlaps. But otherwise, I pick my team and they play their position and I play my position.
You're a leader, actually.
Yeah, well, it's the same in business. You know, I know what I'm good at, and then you pick your amazing people in their positions and you build a team. Everything's a team, same as on set. Yeah. You pick your team. You know? You
picked your team even on this film, right?
Yeah. So it's about picking the team. You know, you pick the people, and you find what gels and what works. And sometimes you have to make tactical decisions in real time, and sometimes you have a halftime and you have a talk. And you say, "Hey, is everyone okay? Can we do anything different?" I don't know. There's so many overlaps. When you break things down, we're all doing the same thing, just in a different way.
But you need to find the time. How do you find the time for all of that?
Yeah.
I can see that. That's why I asked.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether that's from my dad. My dad was always just working all the time and so hard. I think I have a bit of that like mentality that just carries on going. But yeah, I try and find more structure. I think that's where, for me, the fitness and the sports save me, but otherwise, yeah, I keep very busy.
And for the end, I'm sorry, because sadly we're coming to an end. And I know that one guy is going to kill me, but I need to mention Miloš Đukelić because he connected the three of us. You're working with him, you're here.
Yeah, Red Productions. Yeah, they're amazing. I mean, as we said, the team has been incredible. It's been an amazing experience. As a producer and as an actor, to be able to have faith in the people around you and to not worry, because you know that's hard to do. Is if you don't have confidence in the people around you, you're worrying about everything. I don't have to worry about so much because of them. You know, I let them do their job, and the rest is great.
And we have more presents for you too.
More presents? It's Christmas.
Yeah, this is from Miloš. Here you are.
He's sending us to rehab?
Probably.
Taped up.
Oh la la.
It's a dress.
Oh my God. We're going on stage again. What's going on? Ooh, is that for him or for me?
This is for me, I'm guessing. This is for me? This one's
the
for
opposite.
Me.
Obviously.
Oh, I love it.
Great.
Rehab. You'll find me here.
So wait, is this a Serbian brand?
Yes.
Wow. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I was just asking. I said, guys,
you need a Serbian designer.
Yeah, I said, who are the biggest Serbian designers and like brands? And on set, nobody was able to answer me. I said, come on, guys. Exactly. Now I know. We're going to have a conversation after this.
Sadly, we're coming to the end of this interview, and I hope we're going to see each other sometime. If
we'll be back.
If they're present each time like this, we're going to be doing it every
We'll be back in an hour. Give you a chance to go shopping, and then we'll come back.
One thing I'm sure we're going to watch you on a TV and enjoy, as always. For the end, I have only 2 more questions. How do you see yourself in like 5 years? And do you have a sport or life motto? What?
I have a motto, I guess I'll use, is life makes sense in reverse. Nice. So for me, in 5 years, I have no idea, because I'm just going to try and make sense of what's ahead. I don't know. So just surrender and trust that in 5 years, who knows?
Yeah, well, look, we cannot plan, but I just always hope that in 5 years I'll be wiser and learn more things. I've always been hungry for knowledge. I always want to know more And there's so many new subjects that I want to discover. I'm actually even thinking of maybe studying and enroll in university. And I was just talking to a friend, I thought, oh, but then it's 4 years and it feels like such a long time. And she told me, Olga, you'll wake up and 4 years will be gone. Don't think like that. So maybe I should actually just not think, you know, how old I will be by the time I'll finish the university. Because it's discouraging sometimes. You think, oh, but I'll be this old.
Yeah, thinking about anything.
But actually, you know what? Tomorrow I'll wake up and I will be that old. And I would have that knowledge. So I might. This is what I want to do in 5 years.
Thank you so much. Thank you both for being my guest.
Thank you very
much.
I vama ostaje
Another more presents.
Yeah,
camera. They give us a camera.
No, that's it. Vama ostaje samo da kažem da budete uz moju arenu i narednog petka. Kako naši današnji gosti nisu iz Srbije, ja ću danas odigrati humanitarni tiket Soccer Beta, prijatelja naše emisije. Kao što ste već upoznati, oni daruju humanitarni tiket u iznosu od 10.000 dinara, a ukoliko budem precizna, ovaj iznos će se uvećati. Ja bih pomogla deci u Zvečanskoj i nadam se da ću biti uspešna.